And I'm back with more Apollo Justice. And it is time to talk to Vera Misham. Okay, so where exactly does that leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger. Wait, then who was he? Well, he was actually doing her nails. So you really made those forgeries? Yes. For father. I know I was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those forgeries. I never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. No, because of me, Father was... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already creating your works back then. I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poisoned, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father? He was watching, gathering information about all the Wright and Company law offices. But lately we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks to and gags to amuse and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet when Father heard you'd resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was... Well, judging from the relative ages involved, it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all those daddies running around. Yeah, stop saying daddy that way, it's weird. We know that she was the forger. What does that mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona? Where's that stare again? She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So she was the one who made them. She did not wish to reveal the truth of the operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah? Yes. It was in the desk drawer. Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal. All of it. I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to our current studio. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realized it. Very well, let us begin the cross-examination. I need more information about this forger, this Drew Misham.
Hold it!
So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. You wronged her! She had no idea she was doing anything illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may well have killed your father. Alright.
Hold it!
By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance? For instance, a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left on a cup. Or a signature in a document. A seal upon a letter. None of those makes her sound very innocent at all. And the 100,000 promise for this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry. A new industry. The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence. Oh.
Hold it!
So, you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fräulein had lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. What do you mean you received it? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back! A trochony! A moment, Herr Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein. Why did you receive the stamp? There's something wrong. It was beautiful. You mean it was one of those commemorative stamps? Yes, I think it was. So you didn't know about the poison? I guess not. So the trap failed by chance. By mistake. Thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite a close call.
Hold it!
You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes. We saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. The single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility to the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Misham. You did the work and he supplied the face. So you really didn't know anything, didn't you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty. More than that. It was a picture of people I liked at the time. That's something new. Apparently, we've got some cross-examinations yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind to continue your testimony, Fräulein. Huh?
Objection!
Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Apollo? They're not a bunch. I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? That's a good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better. You can't beat true gramarye. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? Gramarye? What's with him? Might I ask just one more question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting? Please, tell me. What exactly did you make? Can I ask? No! Answer the question! Now! Ew! Prosecutor Gavin! You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yeah, it's unbecoming of me, I apologize. But I must know. Please, Miss Misham, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific. It was a handwritten book. Like a diary. Oh. No! I don't... No! What the... What's wrong with Mr. Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham, this book... Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know?
Objection!
Prosecutor Gavin! The defendant is answering all your questions! Stop badgering her! He told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing? Sullied who? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Daddy? He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. certain diary. On the back, bore the mark of a silk hat. What? Phoenix Wright tossed out of the profession by false evidence? And the forger who made that evidence is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made to use in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all our sakes, who was it? We only met once. You met the client? Who was it? It was... What's going on? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. What, is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book. The diary. Who was it? Vera! Oh! Devil. Defendant Vera Misham. Condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis acute atrociny poisoning. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She's currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed by any reason. For any reason. A very simple case at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that's where we must go. To find the whole truth. Oh boy! Alright, we're deep in this. So now we get to go back to a time when Phoenix Wright was last on the defense bench. So, see you next time.